In my video where I walked through London, my vlog, I talked about at a specific moment the reason why I like going to London so much is because the people you see don't know you. To anyone who thinks being not even lonely but just not known by people is a curse, it's also a superpower, it's also a gift. Because there are stages in life where you come to realize that being unpredictable as well is a superpower as well. So you need to understand this. Change your behavior no matter what. Be who you want. Don't be afraid to change your character because it goes against how people know you. Because if that's the case, if you give in to that, you'll become boring, forgetful, and people won't want to be around you as much. This is especially prevalent for women. Women love drama. Why do you think soap operas are so popular? I don't watch them. I don't think a lot of men watch them. I think the closest bit of drama you'd get to watching something typically masculine, traditionally, would be something like a World War II documentary. I mean, at least that shit actually happened. Of course, it's probably a reconstruction, but at least it happened. People in general love drama. Although men don't like it so much that they'll seek it out in online form, they still like it. Gossip at school. There's nearly gossip at every school. People love spreading rumours. It's just something, it's interesting, it sort of flavours things up. People love to see people's reactions. They love to see people get angry, even sad, just to fight off the perpetual outcome of boredom if none of this happens. I'm making this video because for a lot of my life I was scared to change because I was scared to act in a way people didn't know me as. And the reason for that was because I'd play over the same scene in my head every time where I'd do something. It wouldn't be stupid, but maybe it'd just go against how I normally behave. And I could always I could always just imagine them sitting back, whoever this is, could be multiple people, could be one person. I can imagine them sat there just a little bit confused, a little bit perplexed, thinking, did you really just say that? Now, this is because I didn't want to be attached with weirdness or something along those lines, where you had the reputation for doing something a bit strange. But in reality, people love the decisiveness in which you can change. So let's do an example. Let's say you're in year 10, year 11. That's 11th or 12th grade, I think. And you're known throughout school as being the quiet kid. The reason you are known as the quiet kid is because your first crucial stages at that school, nothing really happened. There was not much drama. You didn't really gain a reputation about anything. Even if you're in the sports team, even if you're well liked, you can still be the quiet kid. And if you're not willing to one day wake up and go into school and act differently, you'll forever be known as that person for the time you are there, not after, of course. So not forever, for the time you're at the school. If you want your time at school to be more exciting, to be more invigorating, don't do it maliciously. Don't do it with malice. But people love this. Start planting rumours. Now, I know this sounds really evil or Machiavellian or whatever you want to call it. But people overall will like it. If you just plant a seed or a rumour about someone, and you get it to spread around, people are now interested in that rumour. And remember, you're the quiet kid. So what you say actually holds a bit of weight. If you were popular, or if you were someone who runs his mouth a lot, people wouldn't take you seriously. But in this case, as you're striving to change your character, you can use the current character you have now to your advantage, which you are going to depart. That is the fact that because you are quiet, because the supply of words that you deliver throughout the day is minimal, the shit you say is listened to. It's examined meticulously. It's looked at through every angle it possibly could, whether it has multiple meanings in the literal or figurative sense. So you plant these rumours, you plant these seeds. If they work, cool, you got drama going around the school. Life is more interesting. And you had an effect on that. If they don't, or you get caught, this is where your character changes. Because no longer are you the quiet kid. You're the kid who maybe lies. And I'm not saying that lying is good. But showing that you don't always follow the rules, or showing that you have a little bit of corruption in your character, will just add another dimension to you. It may open a few doors into a few more conversations, into a few more potential friendships, maybe even potential relationships. Now, that analogy I've used across one example, and it's the example I know best, because I was a quiet person at school. And through my experience, there aren't many quiet people. So this won't help everyone. If I was to pick someone as the most common person at school, it'd probably be the mid-range academics, does a little bit of sport, is well known by everyone, sort of in a lot of friend groups, but not in too many really strong ones. But that was the example for the quiet kids. And if you are trying to change your character, become more unpredictable, becoming more interesting, that is one way of going about it. If we had to look to a second example, the example which uses the most common person, what I would do, I know this not as well remember, but if I was in your position, I would create an enemy at school. Think about it. I know it sounds corny or cringe, something out of a cartoon. It will when I say it. If you have an arch nemesis, well, maybe it's not too serious, but you have an enemy, people will follow the timeline of events like it's a story between you two. They'll go, oh, maybe he's winning this situation, he did really well here, or maybe they'll even take sides. And even if you don't get anyone on your side, let me explain, it's still a good thing. Net good. Even in the worst case scenario, I guess you could call worst case, where no one joins you, but everyone joins that person, it is very easy to befriend an enemy, let me tell you. Now remember, this this arch enemy dynamic, you have to be equal. If it's a bully on a victim, that's not an enemy, okay? That's fucking bully. Go do research about how to deal with that. There are some good videos out there. But if you're equal and you have an arch nemesis, befriend the enemy. And you'll be surprised as to how easy enemies are to befriend. And that enemy's friend group, you now befriend. And you've changed. You've shown you have multiple dimensions. You've shown you're unpredictable. People are inherently interested by that. If I could name one problem for most people in school, socially, it would be being a one-dimensional character. If you can add a different dimension to yourself, you suddenly have a lot more status. Take what you will, implement if you dare.